Welcome in everybody to TB Sports 27, and it is time for the next edition of the RXFL postseason. We are concluding Saturday night, and we are streaming on the Saturday night, and we got the Tampa Bay Mutiny going one-on-one with the St. Louis Rhinos. The Tampa Bay Mutiny pulled the upset. They came into the postseason on a big old losing streak. They beat Mexico City. Now, the first time those two teams played, and I really should go back and watch how teams perform before I go streaming live. That game ended in a controversial fashion the first time Tampa Bay and Mexico City played. Controversial ending with the pass interference call not called. So they went at it again, and Tampa Bay, even though they're division champs, they're the underdogs at 9-7. They get the win, and now they hit the road. It's the South Division champions against the North Division champions, but the North Division champions by committee. It was the committee that gave the St. Louis Rhinos the nod. They finished the same record as Chicago and Mexico City. So Tampa Bay and St. Louis, these two did play previous to this, and you guys can check that out in the archives on YouTube, and we'll take a look at just a moment before we jump into it about what they did previous to that. And we'll get into what we got going on here tonight, what we plan on doing tomorrow. So it's another 9-7 versus 11-15 game for the Mutiny. And for the St. Louis Rhinos, well documented, a team that had a slow start. They have really pulled it together down the stretch. And for Tampa Bay, you can see, here it is. It was week 16 that these two played, and it was a 24-21 victory. And there you can see where the Mutiny came into it on a 4-game losing streak, but pulled off the win against Mexico City. And, I mean, a season of streaks, 3 wins in a row, 3 losses in a row, a bunch of wins, and a bunch of losses. Right now, they got a win, and if they could put 3 more wins together, they will be champions of the Ultra Bowl. So Tampa Bay and St. Louis set to go toe-to-toe in the RXFL postseason, as we will be halfway through the divisional round after this one is all said and done. So it's going to be an interesting uni battle, of course. Tampa Bay, the Mutiny, where the Creamsicle, where are they at? Where are the Creamsicles at? Alternate Classic? That's not the Alternate Classic. Stop glitching on us. There we go. And for the Rhinos, of course, put them in the, I call them the Brett Favre era uniforms here, because it kind of looks like rhino horns all the way around. And should we put them in purple pants or stick with, we have that option. We can go the all purple. I don't know. I think we'll go, or we can put them, we can do an interesting one. We can put them in all white at home. We did the color versus color matchup previous to this. We can throw them in the contrast here, the all white, the white rhino, right? Can do that. I say let's do that. Let's put them in all white here at home. Something that is kind of different for St. Louis. So, all right, that's going to be it. And we're going to jump into it. So we had a brief quarterback controversy when we went into the first postseason game. Who was going to start? Was it going to be Steve Young, Ben Roethlisberger? It was Steve Young that got the start, and ultimately he got the win, and he survived and made it on to the next round. Reggie White was the big hero who got the sack towards the end of that ball game. So here's what we're looking to do. Originally today we were going to play WWE 2K, and we're still going to play WWE 2K. But we had to go to work today. You know, we still got the on-call thing. We hit you with these socials. If you want to continue to help out the channel, you can. So we're going to play this because we can knock this out in about an hour. It's about 9:20 now. You figure an hour of the game will go to 10:20. Then we are going to go to WWE 2K for about 30 minutes. And we're going to do some community creation stuff. And we are going to look at making some alternate attires for the Judgment Day and different folks like that. And that usually gets a lot of big hits. The couple of videos we did where we did costume creation on YouTube got a lot of views. So we'll do that for about 30 minutes. The reason we're putting a time limit on ourselves is because tonight is Slam Ball. This is the final regular season Slam Ball weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and the Mob are going for 16-0. So I want to be there to watch it, and they got a good shot because they're playing the Rumble, and the Rumble have not looked good this year. The Rumble, through all their years in Slam Ball, pretty dominant. This year, not looking that great. So I want to see that, so we want to get done at 11, so that's why we decided to do this. But be on the lookout, because if we get our creations knocked out, then I can see us doing some WWE 2K action coming your way on Sunday. So, yes, sir, watch out for that. So here we go. It's a cold one in St. Louis. The White Rhinos. The Rhinos wearing white here at home. Tampa Bay, they got to go up north after being in the sunshine. But prime time once again, and here we go. Tampa Bay, Mutiny, St. Louis Rhinos. The winner will go to the National Divisional Championship game. The National Championship for the winner. St. Louis and Tampa have quite an interesting history in the postseason. Of course, they had their one and only NFC Championship game, the city of St. Louis and Tampa Bay, as Kurt Warner and Sean King squared off, went toe-to-toe. And here they are in the divisional round. So we're going to see who's going to win out in this one. Whether the Rhinos can keep their winning ways up, or Tampa Bay, if they broke the losing streak, and they can get the win. So they're going to start things off with the give to Dickerson. And Dickerson is brought down by D'Amico Ryans. And we'll get a look at your starting lineup here for the St. Louis Rhinos coming off of the bye week. But the bye week didn't help our last team that we just saw, as we just saw the Toronto Huskies get the victory over the London Monarchs. So the Monarchs had the bye, did not help them at all. There you see the score at the bottom of your screen. So starting things off here, another handoff to Dickerson, and there's Art Donovan. He takes him down. Art Donovan weighs a lot. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Rhinos. Jim Kelly guns that one in there to Calvin Johnson, and this is a pretty stacked receiving crew that you see. I mean, you saw the lineup just a couple of minutes ago, but this is a pretty hefty group, and that's why I was kind of surprised it took them so long to get going, and it took a while before they were even featured in an RXFL stream as well. They didn't get featured till the latter part of the season, but they got their opportunity at the big time, and here they are. There you see a tough line. Art Donovan, Reggie White, Neil Smith. A big reason this team is in the divisional round is because of those three gentlemen. You got Sean Taylor, Troy Vincent as well in the corners, dealing their damage, making it hard on these wideouts of the St. Louis Rhinos. So Jim Kelly. And we were just talking about it. There it is. Neil Smith. Not sure if he was touched or not. Coming in, getting the QB sack and just throwing down Jim Kelly. Whew. How about that? So 3rd and 19. 3rd and 19 for the St. Louis Rhinos this cold night here in St. Louis this Saturday night. And Kelly. First down to Andre Rison. And Andre Rison is injured. Now, the turf might be frozen. You know, we saw that happen. And you see these uniforms. Kind of reminds you a little bit of, remember Brett Favre got thrown down on that frozen turf of Minnesota. Now, this is St. Louis, not Minnesota. But very easily be that same situation. So we'll get a word. We'll see what happens. Maybe we got Jesse Ventura. You know, we had our Jesse Ventura. Maybe he's down and he can give us the update. Eric Dickerson. There's no edge. Where's the edge for the Tampa Bay Mutiny as Eric Dickerson gets around Chad Brown and picks up the first down. So Dickerson having a big game. And you see the back spasm. Let's listen. We'll go down to Jesse Ventura, who's on the field. Jesse, tell us about him. Well, let me tell you something. He's down here, Andre Rison. He's grabbing at the back. Let me tell you, he's grabbing at the back, and he's in some pain. But the coach, they're gonna get him back in there because he can't sit out for very long. They know the playoffs are on the line. He's not like Rusty Tillman. He's got to get back out there. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna crack the back into 3 different places, and they're gonna get him right back out on the field. All right, that was Jesse Ventura. Coach Ventura on the sideline. We can call him Coach because he coached the New York, New Jersey Hitmen in our XFL series a long time ago. And if you want to see more of those impersonations, hit me up. We can drop those on Patreon, our XFL seasons that we did. So 3rd down and 3, and Kelly up the middle to Dickerson. And this has been quite the drive that the St. Louis Rhinos are on. So we know our first championship team is the Toronto Huskies. They are awaiting their opponents in the American Championship. This to decide the national championship representatives. Toronto is there, and on the other end, it's either going to be Sacramento and Austin. And I wonder if a lot of people, I mean, you can't go wrong either way. You're either going to get Toronto and Austin, which is going to be Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson, 2 quarterbacks of a different era, a dream matchup in the championship, or you're going to get a rematch of one of the greatest shootouts in our XFL history between Sacramento and, look at this, Jim Kelly, touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, almost Mason Rudolph, Kyle Rudolph for the touchdown. If you guys remember, Otto Graham and Lamar Jackson had a quarterback duel. And boy, Otto Graham, has he not just been having quarterback duels lately? He just got done with Terry Bradshaw having a quarterback duel of his own. So, Otto Graham is he's the gunslinger keeping up with them. But either way, that is a rematch that I think a lot of people, and that'll be dropping. It's not out on YouTube yet, but that is going to be dropping on YouTube, I think within the coming weeks or so, the Otto Graham Lamar Jackson shootout. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, that is already out, so check that out in the archives. But if you're watching live with us on Twitch or you're joining us on Patreon, that is not out yet. And you can check out patreon.com/TBSports27 if you guys would like to check out that early and ad-free, as all of our Patreon streams and Twitch streams are. And this one will be no exception tonight. This will be going up probably early tomorrow, Sunday, because it takes YouTube a little bit of time to process 1080p video. And once it's up there, we'll get it thrown up there. So the first drive of the game, a lengthy opening drive for the St. Louis Rhinos. And it is going to be Tampa Bay's opportunity here. Julio Jones, Nick Chubb, Hugh McElhenney, among others. Quarterback Steve Young with Ben Roethlisberger ready to jump in at just a moment's notice here. So 2nd down and 8 for Tampa Bay. And Young dropping back. And that one, boy, a dangerous throw, but the back of, was that Kerman? His back was the entire time. Jason Taylor, too tall Jones, forget about it. Jack Lambert, James Harrison, a rough and tough, mean defense. Roy Williams out there, Desmond Trufant as well. And it's 3rd down and 5 for Tampa Bay. Steve Young in shotgun position here. And Young completed to O.J. Howard, who had a pretty big wild card matchup against Mexico City. Of course, as you're watching this one live with us on Twitch, we're just days away from the release of Madden 24 and the potential for all these new relocation uniforms. Young. That one was nearly intercepted. I don't know if I'm getting Madden 24 yet. If you guys want me to get it, we got a couple links for you. Ko-Fi, Patreon. But I don't know. I got a birthday coming up as well. So maybe ask for that for a birthday thing. But I don't know. I don't know I have to see what other people say about it. I don't know if I'm ready to get it. If I do get it, it would be a Black Friday. Steve Young's going to take off. It's going to be when there's a big old sale. First down for Steve Young. What a run. Yeah, it's definitely going to be when there's a big old sale going on. That is for sure. Unless I do get it for a birthday something. But I want to at least do one more year on Madden 20 of the RXFL, which may take an entire year. But we have a plan to kind of get through the season a little bit quicker, which we're going to reveal coming up in a couple of streams here. So I want to at least do one more year here and then try to match the teams as best I can, whether it's Madden 24 or Madden 25. Steve Young. This is still... That one was almost intercepted. This is still even though it has the issues with the, the long wind up and the sack animations and all this stuff, this is still my preferred Madden outside of Madden 12. Madden 12 is up there as one of my more favorite Maddens, even though it had the annoying glitch in franchise mode where rookie players' shoulder pads would be huge. Julio Jones touchdown, and what a drive for the Tampa Bay Mutiny to answer back. Yeah, Madden 12, I've often mentioned this on these various streams, but I was not a Madden gamer growing up, and the only reason, again, I don't want to just go in on Madden here, but this is the only option we got. I'm holding out hope that Maximum Football is going to be really good. Legends Bowl just came out, which is kind of the pixel style, but a lot of people have been talking about that. I'm interested in picking that up on the Switch and playing it with you guys. If that's something you guys would like to see, let me know, and we'll get some Legends Bowl here on the channel. Was that something you guys would watch? Would you watch that kind of pixel style gaming or not? That is definitely out there as part of TV Sports that we could do that, but either way, it's did not grow up playing Madden, as I've documented before, but it was the quarterback club games as long as I could remember on the Super Nintendo. And then I remember, like, growing up, getting the PlayStation, and it was game day, because I remember having the game with Terrell Davis on the cover, because I was a Broncos fan growing up. So I remember the Terrell Davis cover of whatever game day that was. And I had that on the PlayStation. And then when I switched to Xbox, it was the Fever games, NFL Fever 03 and 04. I remember I'd like to go back and play those games. I don't know how possible that would be. Maybe there's some kind of emulator we could do or something. But I just remember growing up, and I don't know if it's rose-colored glasses or what, but I remember those NFL Fever games just being so good. Like, better than, they were the best thing. I don't know if I'll go back and have that same feeling now, going back and playing them. But it was NFL Fever all the way. And then after NFL Fever stopped making games, then it was the ESPN series. So I went from Quarterback Club to Game Day, NFL Fever, and then I had the first ESPN football. I did have a Dreamcast, so I played the 2K game that was on there, I think 2K3, and that's a big injury as we're reminiscing here through our childhood. And I'll get the inevitable question again about which Madden are you playing? And so here's the kind of history. But Dickerson's down, and he looks pretty beat up, so that's not good. Coming in, though, it is going to be Thurman Thomas, which we've seen this group get together here. So this team, Thurman Thomas and Jim Kelly, they know each other well, and they know how to get to championship games, that is for sure. But anyway, so Quarterback Club, then it was Game Day, and then it was NFL Fever, and then it was the 2K games. So I played 2K3 on the Dreamcast, and then it was ESPN NFL Football. It was the one that had like Warren Sapp's face on the cover. And then, of course, 2K5, and that was the game. So I guess for a while, like growing up, I did buy the games every year because I remember buying Game Day. I remember having like NFL Extreme and stuff like that, but I remember Game Day, and then it was both of the Fever games, 03, 04, and then NFL 2K, only an elbow sprain, so Dickerson's okay. And then 2K3, ESPN, and 2K5 were all one after another, so I was buying the yearly releases on these games, no problem. Play action fake here, and Jim Kelly, boy, cannot find anything open, and finally he had all day, and Kyle Rudolph could not hang on to a beautiful pass from Jim Kelly. So when Madden got the exclusive license to the NFL games, that was kind of that, and I didn't like Madden at all. I always thought it looked graphically terrible compared to even, I always thought Madden graphics, now these graphics I think are really good, and I thought Madden 12 was pretty decent, but growing up, that Xbox PS2 era, I always thought NFL Fever was far more superior, and I thought 2K was, and Madden I don't even think got good graphics until they got to next generation. So how many years was that? Was that 2K5? Touchdown, Thurman Thomas for the Rhinos. Hey, we got Alpha Sapphire joining us. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here. We're reminiscing about our history of football games that we've owned throughout the years during this RXFL game, and we got some NFL or some WWE 2K coming your way a little bit later as well, so stick around. So where were we in the story? It was pretty much, I always felt that Madden's graphics weren't good, and it wasn't until, Madden 10 or 11 when they got to next gen that they really upped their game. I always thought their PS2 Xbox graphics were terrible. Like, not good. Even the college football games, which were put out by EA, were blowing them away graphically at the time. But, so, I remember I did have, and I don't remember if I bought it or if my brother got it for me or what, but I do remember owning or having at one point the Madden where Sean Alexander was on the cover. Is that Madden 07? And I remember doing like a franchise mode for a little bit with the New York Giants, because I remember redesigning, I don't know why this is in my head, but I remember redesigning the Giants uniforms to kind of look like the New York, New Jersey Hitmen, the black and blue. But I was always annoyed you couldn't put the NY on the helmet. It was one of the stupidest things of Madden games back then. If you redesigned the team or gave an NFL team new uniforms, you could not put any logos on the helmet or anything like that. So that was kind of annoying. Alpha Sapphire says, I'm watching the first 3 episodes of Mob Psycho 100. They're free on Crunchyroll. Nice. I actually have a 10-year free subscription to Crunchyroll because I already signed up for Crunchyroll before, but I won their 10-year anime or their 10-year Crunchyroll contest that they did on Twitter. So me and a buddy has Crunchyroll for free for 10 years, which is pretty awesome. And it was Crunchyroll Premium, which we weren't paying for. We had like the one underneath. That was a big first down. And again, it's O.J. Howard. So, but Mob Psycho, I've never watched that one. I know I've watched One Punch Man, Season 1. I have not watched Season 2. And I know that the main character of One Punch Man and Mob Psycho are very much, all in the same. I need to win that at some point. I don't know if they're doing the contest anymore because it was like a one time for their 10th anniversary. I think 10 people won, and I was one of the 10 somehow. And it was a really crazy tweet. It was like you had to tweet and tag a friend and say why like they're your favorite person to watch anime with. And I tagged my buddy that I worked with in Alabama and said like he's my favorite magical girl or what, like something really crazy. Because we had watched Madoka, or he had told me about Madoka Magica before. And I said, yeah, he's my favorite magical girl and whatever. And he turned, and just like a really stupid tweet. And they picked him. They said, congratulations, you're the winner. I was like, oh my God. And I didn't even realize it was for 10 years. I thought it was like a 1-year thing. So I'm like in year number 2 of that contest there. So, but yeah, Mob Psycho is not one that I have seen before, although I know it's fairly popular. Steve Young, and there's going to be our first stop, and it has been only 4 drives in this game so far, and on 4th and 1 on their 47, look at this, the Tampa Bay Mutiny are going to go for it. Tampa Bay is going to go for it at midfield. wanting to keep this drive going. Here we go. And they're going to give it to McElhenney. Did Jack Lambert stop him? I think they did. That is an unbelievable stop, and that is going to give the St. Louis Rhinos incredible field position. Wow. Tampa Bay didn't want to give the ball back to St. Louis. They just did. I watched a bunch of my anime shows this morning. Right now on Crunchyroll, I am watching the Vending Machine anime, which is fantastic, by the way. It's very funny. It's very good. The reincarnated as a vending machine. I watched that. I'm watching the Tiny Senpai, which is also very, very funny. And, ooh, that was a massive hit. You don't often see Calvin Johnson dropping passes like that. And I'm watching the OVA of Tonikawa. So go check all those out. And I'm working my way through the 3rd season of Demon Slayer as well. I know that has since come and gone, but I working my way. I got to check out the new Rurouni Kenshin as well, because that is supposedly pretty darn good. And Andre Rison. So we've seen a number of St. Louis Rhino guys getting injured and knocked around so far in this ball game. So Rison goes out. And just to put a capper on the football story we were talking about before we started going on anime, and this story's been told a million times on other streams, so you can go check that out there. But I stuck with pretty much NFL, ESPN NFL 2K, other than my small run with Madden 07 from 2005 all the way up until Madden 12. And the only reason I broke down and finally got Madden 12 is because I had gotten an Xbox 360 and 2K was an Xbox game, and I just thought it's time for an upgrade. It's time to get that upgrade. An abdominal tear. So we've seen a couple times in this postseason, guys, folks getting banged up, knocked around, and injured, and it's happening here once again as these postseason games are hitting a fevered pitch. We're going to see how it comes and affects teams. First down by Eric Dickerson for the St. Louis Rhinos. But, oh, they did not give him the first down. Oh, my goodness. Well, look at this. They say 4th and inches. The Rhinos are also going to go for it here. That was very, very close. They didn't give him the first down. I cannot believe that. Here we go. Are they going to get it? They are not. So how about the defensive stops? I don't even know what number that was that got the stop. I don't know if that was Art Donovan. Couldn't see a number. The Mutiny get the stop. A couple of 4th down stops right here. Luna, the TB Sports mascot, is here. So one final bow on the story. I didn't play. I went from... Well, I guess I had 2K8, and I played like the Blitz the Leagues and the college footballs. But as far as an NFL game goes, I went from 2K5. The next time I bought a new, and I didn't even buy it new. I bought it for Christmas. I'd gotten a Walmart gift card, and the game had been out for a while, so I broke down and bought Madden. And it was mainly because I was at the height of Tebow mania as a Broncos fan, and he was in the game as, well, he was a backup quarterback in the game. And, of course, he'd make him the starter, get rid of Kyle Orton, come on. So, that was one of the reasons I bought Madden 12. And I love Madden 12. Madden 12 was really, really good. It had the history where you can go in and look at all the old scores and the old stats back. That was like one of the last Maddens that had that, because I think Madden 13 is the famous Madden where they went to the new engine and they kind of gutted the entire game and kind of destroyed. And they've really been rebuilding from Madden 13, like everything they gutted from Madden 12, and for Madden 13, they've been slowly putting back in, but they've never really quite gotten there at 100%. So, Steve Young here from the empty set to Julio Jones, and what's been a evenly matched and interesting as Luna's just got the wildest look right here. She's sitting right by. She'll keep her distance the whole day, and then she'll just randomly come right up and be right here. But, so yeah, so Madden, NFL 2K5, then Madden 12, which I enjoyed. It had the annoying glitch where if you brought computer, or if you brought rookies over from the NCAA game, or even if you got really deep into franchise mode, the rookies would come in with ginormous shoulder pads. So if you watch some of my Denver Broncos videos on Madden 12 over on our Patreon page, the old school videos, you'll see some of those rookies like Case Keenum and stuff with gigantic shoulder pads, which is pretty terribly annoying. And then the next Madden I bought, I played Madden 12 up until I got a PS4, and then I bought Madden 20. And I had played other Mads. My roommate had Madden 25, and I hated that on Xbox One. I did not think that was good. It played fairly terribly. I did a run with Tebow as well on there because he was on the Patriots at the time, and I hated that Madden. And I think there was like one other Madden I played, and I didn't like it. So that's why I was wary about Madden 20. But for the most part, I've enjoyed it, other than the fact that quarterbacks throw very slowly and you get sucked into sack animations. But I do love Julio Jones turning up the heat and the Tampa Bay Mutiny with the touchdown here. Alpha Sapphire, I'm hopefully getting MetaQuest 2 and possibly getting a Funimation subscription, so I don't have to use just Crunchyroll. Didn't they merge those two together? Didn't Funimation and Crunchyroll merge into one? Because they're moving like all the stuff from Funimation over to Crunchyroll, right? Are they not? Because they just dropped all the Dragon Ball Z movies on there, which I want to watch, but I'm waiting for the English dub to make it over. I usually watch most of the anime in Japanese, but with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, because I grew up with the English voices because it was on US TV, I'm used to those voices, so it's really hard to go to the Japanese, especially Goku. My fiance says the same thing, because she's Japanese, that Goku sounds too manly in the US version, where he had, because I think it was the female voice actress in Japan that did Goku. So it's yeah, but I'm used to manly Goku's voice. Yeah, take a look, Alpha Sapphire, because I'm pretty sure that was like the big thing, the big merger, and Funimation is no more, and everything is on Crunchyroll now. Double check, drop some knowledge on me. Drop the facts. So less than a minute here. Rhinos would love to get into field goal range. Kelly just barely gets rid of that, and it is dropped by Hooper. So we've seen a lot of good defense here in the RXFL postseason. Characters in Japan are sometimes voiced by women. Yes. And we have a couple of that too. I mean, we had, oh, look at that. Hooper making up for it. You know, Bobby Hill, voiced by a woman. A lot of the Rugrats characters. Of course, Bart Simpson, famous one, voiced by Nancy Cartwright. So, but yeah, definitely Goku is the pretty famous one there in that regard. The Rhinos are looking for a field goal. They're not just looking for touchdown. St. Louis wants... No, they want the touchdown. I said it wrong, didn't I? They want the touchdown. They don't just want the field goal. Odell Beckham showing up to the game here. The Rhinos take their next time out. Oh, Luna, be careful. You guys hear that? It's the TV sports mascot, Luna. They are right there. They want to strike the purple end zone. Jim Kelly looking. And there's that sack. We were saying there weren't really any sacks yet in this game. Reggie White gets one. Now, they're trying to hang on to that last timeout. Are they going to be able to run a play? Yes, they are. Kelly knocked away. Was that 23? I can't get a number on it. If it was, that was Troy Vincent. So you got 7 seconds. So this has to be, I mean, this has to be quick. What are your, I think your option is Odell. What is he? Are they not gonna, they're not gonna tell me what, oh my God, they're not gonna tell me. Okay, he's circle. Well, that was annoying, 'cause that wasted, oh my God, oh, there's 1 second. Oh my God, the way that the way the ball bounced around right there, that almost killed the entire clock. They were looking for Odell, and because that ball was knocked around and stayed up there, they almost ran out of time. Let's see. They did merge, but the Funimation service still runs with simulcast via Crunchyroll. Okay, interesting. So I wonder what the difference would be, because I assumed, and Garo Yepremian here of the 72 Dolphins, and he was part of the championship team last season, the Eclipse, knocks through the field goal, and the St. Louis Rhinos take the lead into the half in a tight divisional contest here. So I'm curious what still the benefit of, because I took it, or I assumed that all the Funimation stuff was on Crunchyroll, but if they're still running stuff over there. Either way, those of you tuning in here on Twitch or on Patreon, we're going to keep on going. We're going to stream until about 11 o'clock tonight. For those of you watching on YouTube, you know the drill. We say goodbye to you right now, but come back tomorrow. This episode is going to drop in early November. We're streaming this one in August. We're streaming this one August 12th. So if you want to get it early, ad-free, you want to check us out on Patreon. Those of you watching on YouTube in November, come on back tomorrow, part 2. It's going to be a good one between the Rhinos and the Mutiny.